Chapter 38. Chill out, sis. I loved that chocolate ice cream. It was delicious, although not as nice as the apple crumble. The jelly trifle was incredible. I liked the main course, roast chicken and roast potatoes. So, Jack, shall we get the bill? Said Amy. The children were sitting around a white tablecloth table, having stopped at La Ruelle Pastorale, an extremely posh restaurant in an old country house just outside Dermot Queelery. The place names in this part of the country sounded more like famous people than rude things. They had passed the villages of Bear Hills, Dread Sheeran, Huge Bonville and Vince Cable. Waiters with a very noticeable French accent and white silk gloves had served them an amazing repast with drinks and puddings and lots of side dishes. And they'd stopped here on the basis that not only that Jack shouldn't be given any more beans, but also that he had said that eating at La Ruelle Pastorale would not be a problem money-wise. He, as the oldest person on board the Turbochaser, virtually an adult, really would sort it. The bill, Jack replied to Amy. I don't think there's much point in asking for that. I beg your pardon? I thought you had some money, said Janet. I never said that. You said that eating here wouldn't be a problem, said Rahul. I did. So, Jack, said Amy, what do you mean? Well, I think you're forgetting that Jack is short for Jack the Lad. It is, said Janet. Well, no, said Jack. Not technically. But what I mean is, I'm a trickster. I'm a master of the short and the long con. I'm the man with the plan. And I have a good one. Oh, good, said Rahul. Jack frowned. That sounded a bit sarcastic. Might be. I think I'm starting to learn how to do it. We can't just not pay, said Janet. It's not right. And she's wrong. She's not wrong, said Rahul, for once. Jack, said Amy, I don't like this. Don't worry, said Jack, smiling. You'll see. Beckoned over the waiter, a man with a large moustache, and the waiter bent down towards him. Hello, sir. I trust you have enjoyed your meal. Yes, thank you. It was delicious. I have the bill here, he said, presenting a little silver platter with a dome. He lifted the dome, and there it was. £127.50. Oh my days, said Janet. I wish I'd looked at these prices now, said Rahul. Is there a problem, sir? Said the waiter. No, said Jack. What's your name? My name? No, your name. My name? Oh, you're saying name, yes. The waiter seemed to think about this for quite some time. Louis. Okay, Louis. Well, if I could be frank, we can't pay. We can't pay anything like that. I mean, they're children, aren't they? And I'm only 14. So, we don't have jobs. So, no money. Louise's moustache started to twitch. Is this a joke, yes? Hilarious British sense of humour. Ha ha ha. No. I can see you're getting annoyed now. Your moustache is twitching. Louis frowned. He put his hand up to check. But I do think you're forgetting something, aren't you? Jack added. I am? You are. My sister, over there. I think you're forgetting. She's in a wheelchair. Jack started to look very sad. His eyes moistened. And I can't believe that this wonderful establishment, La Ruelle Pastorale, is going to force a disabled young girl and her brother and all her friends who are just trying to help her live her tiny, difficult, problem-filled life from day to day to sing for their suppers. I mean, really? Louis' moustaches twitched again. He frowned, and he frowned some more. Would you mind just a minute? I need to have a word with my superiors. Of course, Jack said. You take your time. Louis nodded, turned on his heel, and went off. Jack turned to the table and smiled, opened his hands in a you see kind of way. Me, hissed Amy furiously. I'm your big, clever plan. Yeah, sorry about that. I had to lie on a bit thick. My tiny, difficult, problem-filled life. I love my life. You know that. One thing I never do is use my legs as an excuse. When anyone asks for volunteers to do something, I never stick my hand up and say, oh, I can't. I'm disabled. As I say, I had to turn on the waterworks a bit. Chill out, sis. Why are you speaking like a middle-aged DJ? All I'm saying is you'll thank me when they come back and let us off. You will. He looked around and Louis was returning, as they are definitely about to do. Chapter 39. Definitely sarcastic. How much more washing up is there to do? Said Jack. Loads, said Louis, as you can see. Except now, it turned out his name wasn't Louis. It was Dave. He didn't have a French accent anymore. He had a very British accent, located somewhere in the middle of the country. He was standing with his arms crossed by the sink in the back of Ruelle Pastorale's kitchen. As he spoke, a whole load of plates, knives, forks, pots and pans were emptied into the very same sink by Rahul. Oh, come on, said Jack. We've been here for hours. 3 hours. Amy, Jeanette and Rahul looked at him. Amy was on drying duties. Janet was on stacking up duties. And Rahul, as I've basically already told you before, was on bringing new needed to be washed up cutlery, crockery over to the sink duties. Dave checked his watch. You'll be here for another 2 hours, and then maybe you would have paid your bill. Just about, you stupid little boy. He started to walk off, grabbing a piece of expensive bread from the counter to chew as he went. What now, Jack the lad? Said Amy, flicking him with her tea towel. The restaurant had provided her with a chair which she was sitting on while she dried the dishes. Yeah, what now, Mr. Short and Mr. Longcon? Said Janet. You did really well there, Jack, I must say, said Rahul. Said Amy. You have learned how to be sarcastic. Jack turned wildly away from the sink towards Dave's walking back. I'll tell everyone the French thing is a big act, shouted Jack. I'll tell everyone who follows me on my Instagram page. Yeah? Shouted Dave back. You do that, Kate Perry. And he walked out the kitchen. By the time they left La Ruelle Pastourelle, with Dave waving them off, definitely sarcastically, he was holding in his waving hand a very, very clean hat plate. And they got back into the Taylor Turbochaser. It was getting dark. Okay, said Amy as they drove away. I think it's beans from now on, and I don't care about the smell. Chapter 40. Hot Rod. No one said anything for a while. Amy just drove. Well, said Rahul. I guess we lost a lot of time there. You think? Said Jack. Yes, I do. And yes, I know you're being sarcastic. Estimated arrival time at destination 23:30 Saturday, said the sat-nav. Yeah, we're cutting a bit fine now, said Amy. Thanks a lot, Jack. This time, Jack didn't say anything, not even sarcastically. Do you think our parents are somewhere nearby? Said Janet, looking around. I don't know, said Amy. I suppose so. The mood in the car had become very depressed. Janet said, Can I turn my phone on now then? Amy looked at Rahul. Probably won't make much of a difference now anyway. They'll probably catch up with us any second. Rahul nodded. Janet picked up her phone. She said. Why are you making that noise? Said Amy. That's like the sound my mum makes when she's gone on about how much she's gasping for a cup of tea, and then makes a cup of tea and drinks the first gulp. Because that's how I feel, said Janet, and with her phone held up in her hand. I'm gasping to turn my phone on. Hold on, Janet, Rahul said suddenly. Oh no. What? That car up ahead. Oh, I've turned it on. I couldn't help myself. Well, turn it off, said Rahul. What about that car up ahead? Said Amy. It's not a car. It's a van. Amy squinted at it. It's a van with quite a high top on it. Now Jack squinted at it too. And he got out the binoculoscope, peered through it. A sticker on the back says, Hot Rod. Oh my days, said Amy. Our parents aren't about to catch up with us. They're ahead of us. We've caught up with them. Janet, shouted Rahul. Have you turned your phone off? Janet! They all cried. So today, I'd like to see if you guys could cook something at home that maybe you'd like to eat in a restaurant, or maybe just something that you really like to eat. So have a go cooking something for your dinner, and we'd love to see the photos of it.